Okay, you look for a pawn, a knight, and a rook, and bring them to the chessboard when you found them. All right? Wow, man, we are so close. And once we find these chess pieces, well, what was that? Hello? Can you hear me? I'm upstairs. Oh, actually, halfway between upstairs and the attic. Hello? Just follow the sound of my voice, then. Nope, that's the bottom half of me. Come up to the attic to find the rest. There you are! I know. You're probably wondering how I got in this pickle. Well, first off, make sure you go and watch episode 3 before you get here. If you need to pause and go and check it out, that's not a problem. I can wait. I have been waiting. Ooh, if you could like the videos and subscribe to both our Facebook page and YouTube channels, that would be great too. That helps us keep making these videos. Okay. While you were looking for the chess pieces, I was looking at Pif Paf's chessboard in the parlor, and as I was moving it, I think I set off some sort of trap because a springboard launched me cartoonishly through the ceiling and into the floor of the attic. Luckily, this is all green screen, so I'm not actually hurt at all, but I could still use your help in getting out of here. Well, if you're watching this on a tablet, like an iPad or a Kindle, could you try shaking the tablet to see if that would help shake me loose? If you're watching this on TV or at Kidville right now, just try holding out your hands and shaking them like this. Maybe if your head shakes around, it'll look like I'm shaking and help get me out of this. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, shake! Whoa! Whoa! Oh, ow! Oh, I think I got poked in my spleen! Ah, oh, okay, stop! This isn't gonna work. Okay. Phew! Thanks. I did not want to fall back down through the floor. That could hurt, even if it is cartoonishly. Wait a minute. If you're watching this on a tablet, maybe you can flip me upside down. That way I'll fall up through the floor. Let's see if that will work. If you're watching this on TV or live at Kidville, just try sitting upside down. Be careful not to fall off your furniture. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoa! That spun me right around. Okay. Sick as a dog. Whew. No, I'm good. Okay, I'm better. I forgot. When you flip over a tablet, the screen will automatically flip with you. Quick, let's turn the screen lock on so it will stay in place. You see that button? Just toggle it off. Wait, I think you just paused the video. Okay, there we go. Let's try this again. Just flip me over on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoa! Okay, flip me back over. And oof. Well, that was embarrassing. Thanks for helping me get out of that. Now all we have to do is figure out where there are any clues up here and how the chessboard really works. Okay, I think I have with me, yes, my magnifying glass. Let's take a look around the room and see if there's anything that sticks out to us. What? You see a chess piece? Maybe that has to do with the chessboard downstairs. Where do you see it? Back here? Ugh, there is way too much junk on this bulletin board. Can you help shake it off? Really, just shake your hands like you did before, and let's see if we can get some of this junk off the board. Great! And there's the clue. P is A2, KN is C6, and R is H6. What could that mean? Oh, we know it has to do with chess because of the chess pieces. Do you know what those chess pieces are? A pawn, a knight, and a rook. You're right. Oh, wait. The P could stand for pawn, KN could stand for knight, and R for rook. But what does A2, C6, and H6 mean? Hang on. I hear some of you saying that chessboards has letters and numbers on it. Let's head back down to the parlor and see if it does. Be careful of the hole in the floor. Aha! You were right. There are letters and numbers corresponding to spots on the chessboard. I bet when I moved the board around, it triggered a failsafe to make sure I wasn't breaking into whatever this opens. I wonder what it is. Let's put them in place now. Okay, pawn to A2, knight to C6, and rook to H6. Do you see anything? Something opened in the wall? Let's see what it says. June 27th. Oh, I bet that's a journal entry from Pif Paf's journal. I need Pif Paf's journal. All right. Let me look it up. Let's see, it's probably about halfway. I found it. Here it is. Listen to this. June 27th. God loves to talk to us. And one of the ways he speaks to us is through the Bible. When we spend time reading our Bible, it's basically like God talking to us. There's a story in the Bible in Acts 10 about a man named Cornelius that heard from God when he spent time with him. Cornelius and his whole family loved God. They gave to people who needed things, and they spent time with God by praying regularly. One day, while Cornelius was talking to God, an angel spoke to him. The angel told Cornelius that God had heard his prayers and that he needed to invite a man named Peter to come over to his house. So Cornelius told 2 of his servants and a soldier what the angel said and sent them to find Peter. While Cornelius's men were on their way, Peter was on his roof praying and spending time with God. As Peter prayed, an angel spoke to him too. Peter realized that the angel was telling him to go to the house of a man named Cornelius. So when Cornelius's men showed up at Peter's house, he went with them. When Peter arrived, he saw that Cornelius had invited his whole family and all of his friends over too. Peter told everyone who was there the good news that God wanted them to hear, the good news about Jesus. When Cornelius and Peter spent time with God, they heard exactly what he wanted them to do. And when Cornelius's family and friends spent time with God by listening to Peter tell the good news, they heard about God's love, and they chose to believe in Jesus. I know it can sometimes seem difficult to hear from God, but He has made a way for us to know His voice. When we spend time with God, we can know what He wants us to do too.
We can spend time with God by reading our Bible, learning at church, and asking God to speak to us, knowing that He will. You and I hear from God when we spend time with Him.
Pif Paf has been sharing a lot about what his friendship with Jesus means. He writes about how God is real. He writes about how God is 3 in 1, how the Bible is from God, and how we can actually talk to God. It's almost as if Pif Paf was making sure people remember how important it is to have a friendship with Jesus, and how questions can be such an important part of that. It kind of makes sense. When we first meet a new friend at school, we ask questions to get to know them, right? Well, when we ask questions about Jesus, it's like we're getting to know Him too. And in this entry, Pif Paf talked about how we can pray to God, just like Cornelius did in the Bible story. Praying is when we talk to God, and while we won't hear a booming voice talking back to us, we can learn more about what God sounds like by reading the Bible. But what does talking to God have to do with this clue? Ugh, I am so stumped. I think I'm going to have to call in an expert. He told me I could ring him up if the Kidville Detective Agency ever hit a snag. Hey, this is Nathan from Kidville Detective Agency. We used to be the people observing other people, but the initials didn't quite work out. Check out episode 1. Can you come to Pif Paf's Manor? We're a bit stuck. Thanks. Oh, that was quick. Let's head downstairs and let him in. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Never fear, young Sherlock is here.
Thank goodness you're here. We've been in a little bit of a pickle. You see, we got a message from...
We got a message from Jeeves saying his great-grandpa Pif Paf was missing and hired your newly named detective agency to discover his hidden whereabouts and see if his absence is planned or nefarious. Is that the journal? May I see it?
Wow! How did you get all that just from walking in the door?
Pif Paf is a name on the mailbox outside, which has a letter sent to his grandson Jeeves. In the mailbox there is an envelope marked return to sender. Obviously the reason you are here is because this grandson would be worried as to why his great-grandfather hasn't written him, otherwise he wouldn't have hired you. Thank you.
That's amazing!
Pif Paf is in Guatemala.
Guatemala?
Santa Rosa, to be precise.
How did you figure out where he was so quickly?
Come with me. Your first clue led you to a hymnal containing his journal entry about Genesis, but really led you to a meeting with Aaron and Mike at different locations. Now, as your kid detective Jace put it so well, this is obviously Pastor Aaron and Pastor Mike from your church area. He had conversations with them about upcoming Ceilin opportunities, one of which happens to be planting a church in Guatemala. The invisible ink from the paper you found in the cloth led you to this chessboard that, when you put the proper pieces in place, found a journal entry about talking to God. Obviously, one way we communicate with each other is via telephone. So if you pick up this phone in the room and speak, Acts 10. Voila! Plus, the return letter in the mailbox from 4 weeks ago was informing Jeeves Pif Paf was going to Guatemala on a missions trip to help prepare for a church plant. I'll show myself out.
Whoa! That was incredible! Thank you, young Sherlock! Well, this is good news that Pif Paf is safe. The bad news is, I put a hole in his ceiling. But it really got me thinking about what the Bible story from today reminded me of, and the thing that Pif Paf wanted us to know, that young Sherlock was able to figure it out so quickly. How we could spend time praying with God. And just like that helped young Sherlock with the clue today, I think that's going to help us too if we remember it. Can you help me remember by saying this with me? Spend time praying with God. That's absolutely right. When we spend time talking with God, we get to know Him more. And what better way of knowing what God sounds like than reading our Bible? Okay, let's let Jeeves know that Great-Grandpa Pif Paf is safe and in Guatemala and... Oh, hey, look! I got a message from Jeeves. Dear Kidville Detective Agency, good news! I've discovered my great-grandpa Pif Paf is in Guatemala. He sent me a letter that was returned to sender because he didn't have the right amount of postage on it. I found it in the mailbox while talking to a very nice kid. I'm so glad he is safe, but I still need your help. You see, my great-grandpa Pif Paf loves to celebrate Advent. That's the season of anticipation leading up to Christmas. His Advent wreath is his most treasured possession. He loves it so much, he hides each candle in his manor and leaves clues behind to remind himself of where he hid them. He asked me to locate the candles to have it ready for his return from Guatemala at Christmas. Can you help solve these clues and find the candles? I do hope you say yes. Christmas time at the manor is some of my favorite times. Cordially, Jeeves. This is great! Not only is Pif Paf safe, but we still have a job to do. What do you say? Will you join me in the next 4 episodes of Advent to help find Pif Paf's Advent candles? Great! I'll see you back here next time. Until then, dig deeper, ask questions, and be known for love. I'll see you next time.